Football then and now, a fun look at football nostalgia and the modern game intertwined. Join us.
We are back, and this is episode 34, and I've got a returning guest who was on with us for episode 7 back in March. It is Associate Director at Tranmere Rovers. It's Mr. Lee McAteer, and also the co-owner of Progress Wrestling, of course. Got to get that in there. How are you, Lee? How's things?
I'm very well, my friend. How's it all going?
All good, mate. Yeah, fantastic. And I'd love to just start off with Tranmere over the weekend. A win, of course, against Newport. And I know you were in attendance, as you are for many of the games. So, yeah, just how was the match on Saturday?
Do you know what? Obviously, some special memories against Newport when we beat them in the playoffs to go up at Wembley. Connor Jennings, once again, showing why he's such a absolute humongous club legend. I can't even speak. Club legend at Tranmere. So yeah, it was always good to get a victory under our belts and then beating Stockport last night in the Bristol Street Motors to move forward. Absolutely. I mean, that for me was crazy. We've obviously got Joe Murphy, who was in goal for that game, Stu. 43 years of age. You wouldn't think it. Pulled off an absolute worldie of a save. And then the manager of Stockport was Dave Challoner, who I believe they actually played together, I think, in 1999. Just something crazy where the fact that Joe's still playing, absolutely
unbelievable at that age, you know, madness, man. Dave Challoner, of course, known predominantly for throw-ins pre Rory Delap. Everyone says about Rory Delap. I mean, you got to put Dave Challoner in there. He was one of the originators, but yeah, no, fantastic. So some good results for the club. Absolutely brilliant.
So we move on now into the knockout phase of that competition. So yeah, always good to have 2 wins, and obviously first and foremost, I'm a fan of the football club. So anytime we win, doesn't matter what competition it is, I'm always going to be happy.
How are you feeling with the table and where you're placed presently? How's that? What's the thinking with the lads and management and what have you?
Well, I can't. It's not my place to say on all that stuff, but you know, purely from a fan perspective, of course, we want to be high up the league, and obviously the fact that we've had a good win against Newport, momentum's there, so on we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, just thick and fast the games. This is what people forget, don't they, with the EFL? Just how many more extra games you're playing compared to the Premiership than all the cups and stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Relentless.
But a long way to go as well yet, Lee, isn't there? So much football to be played.
Well, I was hoping you were going to mention the fact that Everton under 21s have now been knocked out of that competition.
So I did see. I knew we were in the group. I did see the game. I did see the game at Prenton Park. It would have been maybe a couple of months ago now, maybe. But yeah, it gives these young lads, you know, it gives them a look at playing the sides, doesn't it? You know, experience and what have you. But yeah, I don't think many of the under 21 teams advance, do they? In all honesty, from what I've seen.
Do you know what, Stu? Well, to be fair, obviously I don't watch many Everton games, but I was able to go to the. Not that I'm trying to, you know, kind of throw games in that Everton didn't win, but I was there for you. I was actually in the Gladys Street end for the Everton Southampton game, I think it was, where sadly you lost on penalties and actually lost penalty. And to be fair, there was quite a number of players that played in that game that actually played against Tranmere, like Lundstrom and a few people. So, but you know, hopefully happier times ahead for Everton, maybe.
I've read all sorts of nonsense today. I've said to Chris, I said sometimes there's too much onus on this show about Everton. So some of the stuff I've read, you know, everyone's a journal and what have you. But yeah,
Sean Dyche was in the boardroom for what it's worth.
Right, okay.
Tranmere played the Everton, their young team. So
yeah. I feel for the man. I feel for the man. Doesn't get enough credit. Does not get enough credit. But it's opinions. I think we were speaking about him when you were on in March. You know, we were saying how hamstrung he's been. You know, he just hasn't had the money, and he still managed to do okay. But I think once this new owner comes in, it seems to me that he's very ruthless at Roma. He's just sacked Juric, who's only been in charge for 12 games.
Wow.
So it's a total different psyche, I think, to Mashiri, where he's obviously kept Dijon, but I don't know. It's interesting times for us. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, the Southampton game. Oh, don't talk to me about that. To be fair to Ashley Young, he had after missing that penalty, he had 4 or 5 decent games off the back of it. But yeah, crazy that you've been to Goodison this season and I haven't.
Well, I tell you what, it was some atmosphere in that in Gladys Street, I must say. I won't comment for the reasons why, but I'll keep it to myself.
Expletives are plenty, and obviously the staunch. That's where the staunch fans are, of course. That's the hotbed at Goodison. But no, I'm glad you got to Goodison, and not long now until we'll be at the new place. I need to get over. I need to get over to Merseyside and get to some games. I do.
You know what, Stu? I have to say it looks amazing, and because I'm currently at a mate's place at the moment who's a massive Everton fan, and he's trying to become a season ticket holder, and he was showing me some of the things that they're working on for that stadium, such as things like Dixie's Bar and the Queen's Head, which is one of the pubs that they're actually creating within the stadium, and a Howard Kendall type bar, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I must say, it must be something to look forward to.
It's exciting. Like my nephew's young at the moment, a bit young to be going, but obviously when that's open, I think he'd be at a good age to come with us to the match. It's the fun experience. No disrespect to Goodison. It's just run its course. It's all the entertainment side and the food places and stuff like that. So it's exciting. It's exciting, but good for the city as well. Because I've had Liverpool fans have said, it's major. It's major for the city. But I think obviously I don't know if they're going to work on transport links and stuff like that a bit more, over the next couple of years. Hopefully,
I just think it's all good for the Merseyside area. To be honest with you, I think it's good.
Absolutely. And I'd just like to say as well, with Tranmere, hopefully onwards and upwards and up that table as well. Who have you got coming up, Lee? Who've Tranmere got up next?
Gosh, well, our next game was postponed for one reason or another. So I've not got I've been that busy, Stu. I've not even got the fixtures in my head like I normally do. But a little break now until our next game.
Is it anything to do with international break that? Because obviously I know teams in like League One, if there's X amount of players, I know Wrexham had call up, so they had to cancel. Yeah. It's quite long. Is that to do with that?
I mean, sometimes it's on a kind of case by case basis, really, depending on the players and whatnot. But sometimes League Two games will get called off or rearranged, should I say?
Well, hopefully Tranmere can get at the table, as I said earlier. Definitely. I want to ask you about progress, actually, while you're here. We'll come away from the football just for a bit, because I know how much is going on with progress. Obviously, I've had Mike on recently as well, and obviously Wrestle Tours as well. Can't forget that. So just
thank you for the free plugs, Stu. I really appreciate it. It didn't even have to kind of say it myself.
There you go. So just progress and what's going on. Of course, I think Manchester's coming up, isn't it? The Ritz, fantastic venue.
We've got a huge show on Sunday, 3 p.m. at the O2 Ritz. Going to be absolutely crazy. Headlined by Boisterous Behaviour versus the Young Guns. First time Young Guns have been back together in progress. Gosh, I think since 2022. And we've got a very special match in the fact that Charlie Evans has come over from Australia. Wow. And is going to be taking on Cara Noir. So you've got a number of different points there. And Simon Miller, who's now the new Progress Proteus champion, he's going to be talking to us all about his stipulations. And hopefully there'll be more ups and downs, not just for him, but for the show as an overview.
I'm a huge fan of him. With what culture, many years. Nobody delivers it like him. That is talent. That you can't teach it. But I love his stuff. But he's done fantastic in the squared circle as well, hasn't he?
He's brilliant, and I mean, what a reception for him when with his victory to become the Proteus champ. Absolutely unbelievable. And it's going to be really interesting to see where all these things are going, and especially as progress kind of moves forward. We've got some shows coming up in Chicago, in Brooklyn, so it's very much a global play at the moment. So really good for my sleep patterns and everything else.
Have you got dates? Have you got dates for the US there?
Yeah, we do. And you know what? I should be so much better prepared for this than
sorry, it's my fault.
What I am, Stu, to be honest.
It's my fault, mate.
I literally just come off another call. My head's kind of like banging, and normally I'd have all these things straight to me. But yeah, coming up in November and December, and we're basically at the same location as GCW. And then, of course, Amazing. We're also hosting GCW in London in January.
Yeah, I did see that.
First time GCW come to London.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And you've had Kenta as well, international star Kenta, who's done. He's been brilliant. I love him, and he had his injuries years ago, didn't he? But he's been wrestling consistently for a long time now, and it's good. It's international flavour in it to the shows.
I mean, he's our Defy world champion and doing an unbelievable job. Even if he did use some scrupulous tactics to beat Cara Noir at the last chapter. But he's still a champion, and you can see the reception for him, and everybody's got so much respect for him, which, to be honest with you, all the more reason why he doesn't need the tactics, dare I say it, Stu, that he's using at the moment.
Absolutely. And Wrestle Tours, of course, Las Vegas for WrestleMania. Yeah. So yeah, just a bit of information for the wrestling fans, of course.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, no, literally, if you're interested in going to WrestleMania, I think we've got legitimately 2 packages left. In fact, to be honest with you, we didn't think we had any packages left whatsoever, but we've been given an extra allocation of a couple of rooms. So if people are interested in coming to WrestleMania with us and the rest of the Progress gang, please reach out. Obviously, Mike Angus, the Mad Dog, is the one that's heading up a lot of that stuff for us. So if you are interested, and genuinely, they are, dare I say, obtainable prices as well.
Of course.
Payment plans and things like that. So instead of having to shell out a load of money all at once, you can literally do a payment plan up until February to be able to make it more affordable. And if you are concerned about being like a first timer, you're going alongside so many other wrestling fans, so you're very much part of our community. So it's not something. See, my phone never stops going off, Stu. There's the problem.
Thank you for sparing the time here, because as we can hear, that phone is going busy, man. Of course. How about Greece, England tomorrow, just before you go, because I know you're busy. You're gonna watch Greece, England tomorrow. Are you gonna get chance? I know you're busy, and maybe a prediction for that one if you can.
Gosh, well, we didn't do too well against them last time, Stu, did we?
No. Pavlidis was fantastic actually, but they were shocking at the back.
Parsley's last game, right?
I think they've got one more in the group yet. I think it might be Ireland. They're playing Ireland at home because obviously they were at the Aviva a couple of months ago when Carsley first started.
Yeah.
They need to win, Lee. They need to win it, and they need to get out of the B groups. They're an A group team.
Yeah, totally. I think what's difficult, Stu, is that there's just so much football going on, and of course, there's no dispute that footballers get paid a huge amount of money, etc., etc. But they are still only human at the end of the day, and the amount of games that they're playing is, it's getting pushed. It seems every year. The pre-season seems to be less and less. There's always more games at the start of I think from a Tranmere perspective, at the start of the season, I think we had something like 15, 16 games in 3 months.
Bloody hell. Yeah.
So that's where it does become difficult to obviously go from like club playing to international. But I would have thought there would be a good response on the basis of what happened in the last game. So I'd expect England to win, and I'm going to say that they're going to win 3-1.
Everyone's a manager, Lee, as well. He didn't play a striker.
Manager, Stu's where it's at, right?
He did the false 9 again. Southgate got it in the neck for being too defensive. Carsley's trying different things. They went probably a bit more attacking. He goes the other way. I think it's about balance. I think once Tuchel gets it and gets his hands on it, I think it'll be. I think they'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. There's just too much talent. There's too much talent in that squad to be where they are. It's crazy how much depth they've got when everyone's fit, of course.
Yeah, so much talent, and I really, really hope that. Whilst my own personal view is that it's always better to have an English manager. Regardless of that, we need to get behind Tuchel, as an England fan, and hopefully he will finally deliver a trophy for us, because we've been so close. And of course, I've always got to be very professional in my social media views, etc.
Of course.
But I can't lie, I was pretty frustrated at watching that final. I think it's the only time I've properly commented on football.
I think De Paul replaced Rodri, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And I thought when he went off, I said at half time or whenever it was when they made the change, I said England might have a chance in the middle, but it just didn't, because he orchestrates everything, Rodri, as we know. I thought this could turn. It wasn't the case, was it? They brought that lad into centre mid, and they just kept playing how they were playing. Really, I felt in the final.
And do you know what? I've just noticed the coaster that I'm drinking from. There you go. You'll appreciate that. Nobody got a screen grab.
That's obviously your friends.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, the old NEC away.
Big shout out to Girillo that make amazing websites. There you go, free plug for Girillo.
There we go. There we go. Absolutely. Yeah, that
was
all
of our websites as well.
That was
New York, etc.
That was when kits lasted 2 seasons as well. That was 92 to 94. Although I don't want to keep you too much longer, of course. Luton, that was brilliant what Luton did. They've kept the home. They kept the home jersey for another season.
It is, but I noticed about 2 things. Because somebody tagged me in Dara's tweet, or Dara from Peterborough United, who's a fantastic guy, and he was saying, well, it's all well and good doing that, but the reality is that because of the parachute payments, they can afford to do so. Whereas if you're a club that doesn't have those kind of payments, then you're very much, and also as part of financial fair play, you've got no other choice than to try and bring out as many kits as you possibly can. But you just reminded me something as well, Stu, is that randomly, I actually own that famous Barry Horn shirt when he scored that infamous goal for Everton all those years ago.
You're being so kind today. Normally, I'm getting about Yatesy scoring that winner that you've told me on.
Well, I mean, that's saying Yatesy's day. I mean, that's a given, right?
This is fantastic. You're so pro blue. You've been to Goodison.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm pro blue, but very randomly, I do own that shirt actually.
Good piece of memorabilia that. And do you know what? He was fantastic for Wales. He was as well. He was great for us at Wales, and I loved him. I absolutely loved him. He was underrated, I would say, definitely. But we'll see how England get on. Obviously tomorrow they need to win it. They've got to win it, and it'll be interesting to see. But just quickly as well, Tuchel, it's an 18-month contract, isn't it? And he asked for that.
I actually didn't know it was 18 months, but
he stipulated that. I heard, because I thought that was just the FA telling him, that's what we're giving you.
Yeah.
And he says, I'll work for 18 months. It'll take him to the next tournament, and then they'll take it from there.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what's what, because I think, unfortunately, just in terms of that level of expectation, rightly or wrongly, anything less than a major victory, I think, is just going to go down. Not in the I mean, it's an unbelievable achievement to get to a final, but of course, purely from a fan's perspective, we just wanted Southgate to be a bit more attacking.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
We will in due course.
What you wish for, right?
This is it, and we'll see how Wales get on away at Turkey on Saturday evening as well. I'm looking forward to that. Bellamy's had a decent start. Lee McAteer, Associate Director of Tranmere Rovers, co-owner of Progress Wrestling, and Wrestle Tours, of course. And thank you for jumping on. We'll do longer next time. You're just busy with all your stuff going on, and always busy and great. Thank you for coming on, man, at such short notice as well.
No, my pleasure. And just final thing, never ever forget Yatesy's day, my friend.
Come on,
Lee, better than Everton that
every time you do this to me, my days. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Stu. All the best. Take
care, mate. All the best.
Bye.
Football, then and now, a fun look at football nostalgia and the modern game intertwined. Join us.